recording this so that anybody who has questions, you can definitely watch this again. If you have questions, please put them in the Q&A down at the bottom. Si necesita español, por favor, va a interpretation y selectar español, por favor. Y señora Quintanilla está ahí para usted. Gonna wait another minute or so, and then we'll get started. It's got to be more than already here, or they're watching live stream. Okay, thank you. 33 live stream viewers. Very good. All right. Once again, we're going to get started in probably less than a minute. If you have any questions immediately, I know a lot of you filled out a form already, and a lot of those questions are built in or I answered people directly, but you can fill out the Q&A at the bottom. Si necesita español, por favor, va a interpretation y selectar español. All right, well, let's get started. You know, sixth grade students and all of our new students, welcome. I'm Ben Turner, the principal here, and it's really exciting to have you attend TRP. It's a little different than our normal orientation, and it's really sad that we can't be here together to meet one another, but it is wonderful to have you here, and I know that you guys will be doing a great job when you get here with all the fabulous staff that we have. Do want to introduce a few people. First up, maybe they can say hi. I'll leave it in the video screen so we can see one another and you can put a face to the name. But we have Miss Jennings, our vice principal.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Okay. We have two of our counselors here. We have Miss Suval and Miss Fosdal.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Okay. We have our PTSO president, Miss Ramoran.
Hi, everyone.
All right. And I don't know whether you guys can see Miss Quintanilla or not, but she is doing the translation in a different room for those people who need Spanish translation. So a big thank you to her. She probably can't say hi, but I will say hi for her. She's waving in there. I'm not sure if you guys can all see her. So we're going to get started. And, you know, let's see. All right. Shrink this, and here we go. All right, this is another virtual orientation. It should be recorded, so in case you know somebody that did not or is not attending or watching right now, it will be posted and will be up there so that people can watch it. We definitely want everybody to have their questions answered. If you know somebody that just doesn't have access to watching it, please make sure that they reach out to us and ask questions, email us. We know there are a lot of questions and we want everybody to feel comfortable with the start of school next week, a week from today. All right. I know that there were a lot of questions that I've already received, but please use the Q&A chat box and you can do that. Ms. Jennings is monitoring that and she will either help address those during it or she's addressing you right now, emailing you back because I already saw one or two pop up. And then at the end, we will also have a Q&A session so that we can, you know, make sure that we answer any questions that people have. So, did introduce everybody. You know, obviously, it's wonderful to have this great supporting cast here because it's not me doing it. It's not just one of us. It's all of us that are going to get through this together. And with a lot of the support that we have, we can provide a lot of the things that students need. Okay. And that means, you know, having our counselors here during this very difficult time and having our PTSO here to help support and rise up and bring up our spirits a little is really wonderful to have. All right, I'm going to let our counselors maybe just say a word or two about themselves. And, you know, I do have their email addresses up here. A little bit later in when we're done, this presentation will be posted and you can click a link to it. So what I would suggest is that you go there and you can, if you want to email them, and I misspelled Miss Suval's name, so I will fix that. So let me stop that and then you'll go right there. But maybe they can introduce themselves. I'm actually going to answer a parent's text right now. So I'll let them introduce themselves for a moment.
Okay, I'll go first. Hi again, everyone. My name is Miss Fosdahl, or you can also call me Miss Catherine. So I hope you guys are all staying safe and healthy at home. But if you have any questions, concerns, or you just want to connect and talk to Miss Subal or myself, we are available through email. We also have Google Chat and we have Google Voice numbers. So if you feel more comfortable talking on the phone or texting, we are available for that. It's best to start off by sending us an email though. So we really look forward to hearing from you and getting to know you all this year. And yeah, I'll pass it over to Miss Duval.
Hi, everyone. I'm Miss Duval. Welcome to middle school. I know it's a little different starting middle school online. So we counselors are here to support you in any way that you need, whether that's with academic help, getting help from your teachers in your classes, or if you're just struggling emotionally, we're here to help. So I look forward to meeting all of you. Have a great school year.
All right, I'm facing a little technical difficulty here. Give me just a moment. Gotta love it, live. Okay. So here we go, back up again. Okay. We'll just get through this, get through these. All right. So one of the main things that I tell parents about and families is, and this is especially important for all new families, is this website here links to our weekly bulletin. The weekly bulletin has almost everything you would need. It's a lot easier for me to update than a website. So I do that because it's really quick and easy. I want to make sure that you guys have the most up-to-date information. A lot of times, every email right now that I'm sending is linked up there, and information about schedules and different things and signups, they're all on there. I suggest that families bookmark that page and leave it up, or have that be on your start when your computer comes up so you can see what's going on. There is no more important thing than communication right now. And if you've not received my emails, then there is something wrong, but you can get them through there. Our email system, if we had the wrong email, fixing it, usually it rolls over a day or so later. So if you like, oh, I may have missed something, you can always go to the weekly bulletin and see there. Now, I do want to say before I continue on a little bit more, this orientation is for our hybrid students only. If you are a virtual student and choosing that option, a lot of this information in here will not apply to you. Some of it will, like the pickups, and I'll be sending home information to pick up a Chromebook or other items, but it is really for our hybrid only students. Okay, I'm going to click on it and let's see. It'll pop up, and I just wanted to show you around. It has all these things that are hyperlinked, are links to orientation, the Zoom link, maybe you got here one of these ways or through the email, but there's a parent view sign up email that explains how to do that. There's information about, here's the link for the Chromebook need form, so you can fill that out. There's a link to a hotspot request form, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But there's a lot of different information here. Okay, and most of it is translated in some of these emails for you. So, let me give an example. Okay, so when you go into the email, if you see a link here for Spanish, it's not going to allow me to do it because I'm the owner of this. But if you click on Spanish or Tagalog or Arabic, it will bring you down to a translation of that document. Okay. It is a Google translation. It is better than me and better than nothing. But if you are having problems with the translation, or it's not good, please call and we will try and find somebody who we can communicate with. Yo hablo un poquito español, but we have people here who speak Spanish and Tagalog and Arabic we can find, not necessarily on our school site, but we can have people who are there to help communicate with you. So as we go through, okay, now, as we, this slide here says what's going on, and I'm going to go through all of these questions in the presentation. What is the hybrid model? How long will we be in distance learning in the hybrid model? How will you decide when to move from distance learning to in-person at school learning? What are the cleaning protocols? What is the schedule for students when they're in distance learning? What's the schedule when they're in person? And those are all great questions. And a lot of you have already reached out to ask those questions, and a thank you for that. But this is also to help clear up some of those things. And if it's not clear after we go through it today, please email me, email Ms. Jennings. We are here to help and answer those things, because we know it is a different time and some of these things are not like normal. Now, I will say that Ms. Jennings is only going to be here, I think, till she's going to be leaving soon. So if you are putting questions in the Quest Q&A, I will answer those at the end. I know she's been trying to answer them now, but as we go through. So what is the hybrid model? Okay, the hybrid model refers to being able to stay at home or come in to school. Now, right now, we're starting at home distance learning for 6 weeks minimum, possibly longer. Our governing board decided that they didn't want to make a decision for the whole year in case things changed and cases dropped significantly. And we were able to go back. They didn't want to lock into a whole semester or through December for that. We may stay at home through December. That is a possibility. But we want to monitor the situation so when it is safe, we can come back in. Now, when you return to school, students will attend 2 days a week, Monday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Friday. We will assign those days a little later on once we get into school, but we have at least 6 weeks to figure that out. We will get preferences and figure out if you have siblings in other schools so that you will have the same school day if you prefer that. If you prefer different for different children, we can also work on that, but typically same school day. Siblings would attend, just say Monday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Friday. Wednesday is a day for additional support that may be done in person, but can also be done at home. The key in this, and when you're in person, is that you do have work on days that you do not have school. So if you were to come in Monday, Thursday, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, you have work that is being assigned to you. It will average about 4 hours a day or more. There is a minimum instructional minute requirement of 240 minutes, whether it is done in person with a teacher or on your own. So if a teacher gives you a report to do and you're working on that and you're submitting it via Google Classroom, things like that do count as instructional minutes. Now, it can be fluid between distance and in person. What that means is we may start out 6 weeks and everything is clear and we come back in to school. And then there's a spike and we say it's not safe anymore and we go back home. These are not decisions we take lightly, but we do want to make sure that safety is the #1 priority for myself, for the staff, for my family, for your family, for students, for the community, for everyone. Okay? So, how long will we be in distance learning in the hybrid model? This just depends. This is probably one of the most frequent questions I get via email, and it's often the hardest to answer. I don't have an answer. I know it will at least be 6 weeks, but what happens is that there are guidelines in the San Mateo County Pandemic Recovery Framework. There's a link here, so if you want to read it, it's updated quite frequently. And one of the latest updates had put in that we need to be 14 days off of the state watch list. Governor Newsom had added that as a requirement for schools to reopen. And right now, San Mateo County is on the watch list. So we wouldn't even consider that. If we get to, 30 days or 6 weeks, and all of a sudden we're still on the watch list, we're not opening up, at least till we are off for 14 days. Now, I'll talk a little bit more if we do get off, how those decisions are made. But we also, in order to come in, we have to be able to effectively implement hygiene protocols, physical distancing, that means staying 6 feet apart, and cleaning and disinfecting practices. Okay, we have to be able to clean and make sure everybody is safe. We also have to make sure people wear masks. We have to implement efficient but effective health and temperature screenings for students, staff, and visitors who come on campus. Some of you visited the office, might have been shocked when we said stand there at the door and we took your temperature, but we want to make sure that we are not bringing people on campus who are sick, okay, or who exhibit any symptoms. How will you decide when to move from distance learning to in-person or at-school learning? So obviously, as I just mentioned, there's the 14-day off of the state watch list that we adhere to. In addition to that, our district will be in consultation with the Jefferson Elementary School District Governing Board, the San Mateo County Office of Education, and the San Mateo County Health Director regarding any changes. We want to ensure that we have all the information needed to ensure the student safety and staff and mine and everybody, okay? And you will get plenty of notice for that. It's not something like you are here, you're at home, and we on a Friday we go, you're coming in Monday. There will be a lot more notice about that. So I know there are a lot of questions and I don't have the answer. We may be in distance learning through December. It could be all year. I don't know. My hope is that I do get to meet your students. I've been looking forward to seeing our new 6th graders and our new 7th graders. I don't think we have any new 8th graders yet this year, but I really want to meet you, and not just in a Zoom setting. All right. What are the cleaning protocols? A lot of questions about this. And we will follow the protocols, the following protocols, and any other that the California Department of Education, or the CDC recommend. Sometimes they change. Okay, so some people ask me, well, exactly what will you do? Well, today I may do this, but if the CDE says you have to also do this, then we will do that. Or the CDC says you have to do this, we will do that. And I want to make sure, just in general, that we are being as safe as possible. So obviously a temperature check taken on every student and staff member daily. We've been trying to think about when we come on campus, there may be one grade level through this area, another through this area, and a third through a third area. So we spread kids out. Cleaning of desks in between classes. We are considering rotating our students. They stay with the same cohort of students, but they would travel to different classrooms as a cohort throughout the day. And there were a lot of questions that came up in the last orientation. I'll go over it a little bit, but a little later on, I'll probably, when we get to the schedule, explain it a little bit more. We want to ensure that we can clean adequately. If we do not feel we can, we will not move kids around in between classes. If the timing that we need is more than what we've allocated, we will adjust our times. We want to ensure that students are safe if they are back on campus. Now, I do want to remind everybody that right now, if we come back, only half the students are on campus at a time. The classrooms have very little in them except for a desk and a chair for each student. And there are only 16 max students in a class. That's what we can fit with physical distancing. There is not too much to clean there that we believe we can accomplish. Okay. If we found that we couldn't, we would not. Okay. So I know in the last session, there were a few questions about that. We want to make sure we can do everything we need to do. We'll clean high touch points throughout the day. We'll clean the restrooms throughout the day. If we come back, each grade level will have a different restroom. We're not putting all kids in the same area. We have a large campus and we have lots of different restrooms that we can use to ensure that things can be cleaned, that we're not commingling groups and things like that. There'll be a thorough cleaning and disinfecting every night. with a fog machine and the way that they do that for the different surfaces. Now, I'm going to move on a little bit to attendance. Unlike last year, where attendance may or may not have been taken, depending on your teacher, attendance will be taken during your advisory class, which is the first class of the day, and all other class periods. Now, sixth graders, you're probably going, I don't know much about periods or anything like that, so I'll try and explain it as best as I can. Typically, when you're on campus, you might have a fourth period class and then fifth period lunch, or flip that, you have fourth period lunch and a fifth period class. Okay, when you're at home, and I'm going to show you a schedule in a moment, when you have your lunch, like you would be back on campus, that's time for you to do some of the work that your teachers have assigned. It's not a time to take off, it's a time for you to get some work done. So, students and families are wondering about how do I get my schedule? I've gotten a lot of questions about this. Student schedules will hopefully be posted on Monday, August 17th. We are dependent on the other middle schools to get their schedules done. We believe will be done, but we want to make sure they are also done because it rolls out together. So it's possible it may be coming out on Tuesday. They will be posted in the student and parent portal. Okay. So students, and I've gotten a lot of emails about this, right now the sixth grade accounts, your emails and your accounts are not activated. So odds are it's going to be your parent portal. The student ones will be activated by next week. And when you come to pick up a Chromebook or during our pickup, you will get your code, basically your email and your how to log in. And you will be able to then use your computer to log in and see your schedule. There is a link here, and I know a lot of families have already started to sign up for the portal. They email me with all the different questions about passwords and things, and we're here to help. The link here, it's also on the weekly bulletin. Go through and look at the information, follow the instructions, and sign up. It is absolutely essential that you have access to the parent portal. Okay, it shows your schedule, it shows your grades, your attendance, all of those things that are there that, report cards. It's really essential. Now, sixth grade new students, if you need your login, you are going to need to sign up on Monday or Tuesday or for a time to come in, even if you don't need a Chromebook. Okay, we did not receive our regular or the scheduled Chromebooks. There's a shipping delay, and we are hopeful they're coming soon, but we do not have them. We are giving out loaner ones. If you don't need a loaner one, I need you to still come to school to get your login. If I have schedules printed out, I'll be great, but most likely they'll be posted late Monday into Tuesday. Ms. Jennings will be the one sending out the sign up, so look for that coming tomorrow. It'll ask you to choose a time on Monday or Tuesday to come in. Now, this is what a lot of people look at and are extremely confused by. So I'm going to try and break it down. And hopefully you will understand. If you don't, give us a call. We'll walk you through it. But basically, it's like a block schedule. Students will be assigned 8 periods for classes, 8, plus an advisory that happens every day. So this advisory is going to be your first period teacher in almost every single case. That person in advisory is responsible for helping you understand all of this. So even if after this you're confused, once we get you to your advisory in Zoom, they're going to help you through understanding this. What happens is that you're assigned 8 periods. Now we have alternated them, first period on Monday, second period on Tuesday, third period on Monday, fourth period on Tuesday, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. I think you get the way this works. On Monday, you would start out going to your advisory teacher. They will help you with anything that you need, including coordinating services. So if you needed counseling and you're like, oh, I had a horrible weekend and I need to talk to somebody, They will help. If you don't know how to email Miss Suval or Miss Fosdal, or open a chat with them and, and set up a time, they'll help you do that. If you're struggling in one of your classes, that teacher can help coordinate. Let's find a time for you to meet with your math teacher on Wednesdays. I'll talk about that in a little bit. They're there to help. If you're missing or you're skipping a class, they're there to call your parent or ask you what happened. Maybe there was an emergency or your internet went out, right? That's okay, but we need to know. And if not, they may be the one to call your parent and ask. Then there's a passing period. And then, so when you're at home, that gives you time to maybe grab some water, grab a drink, go to the bathroom, whatever you need, get your paper, get everything ready that you need, and then head to first period. When first period's done, now during first period, you may not be there the whole hour, like watching a teacher. In class, teacher may start out by talking to you, then maybe showing you a short video, one they made or one that's online. You may then break out into a breakout room in Zoom and be working with another partner. Then you may come back and then talk to the teacher, and they may recap things and give you an assignment. And then maybe you're just working for 15, 20 minutes by yourself, and they're there to help answer any questions. Okay, there's lots of different ways that online learning and distance learning work on Zoom, and we're working through different models. Okay.
One thing, Mr. Turner, if I can jump in real quick. So for people who are wondering how you meet with your teacher during this time, we're going to be posting the Zoom links for your advisory. We're going to be posting all of that so that families can see it, students can always see it. You'll get in a habit and you'll know exactly where you're going. Give it 2 weeks or so, and you're going to really know exactly, okay, it's 8:45. I'm in my first period class. This is where I go. But it is going to take some practice. And this is your first year at middle school. And usually Mr. Turner and myself and all these adults are in the hallways showing you where to go, telling you to take a deep breath. You're not going to be in trouble if you're late for class. I really, really wish we could do that, but your teachers are going to be helping with that too. So if you're concerned about not showing up on time, or what if I go to the wrong class, I promise you, you will not be the only one who's a little bit stressed about that. We will be helping you with that. So for Wednesday, and you can see now the link here, or the slide here, school will look different for the first 3 days of school. You are not going to go through all of those classes. You're going to be sitting with that advisory teacher for most of the morning on those 3 days. And they're going to be going over a lot of stuff. Today, we're talking really fast, and you might be like, whew, I don't remember much of what they said. That's okay. The main thing is that at 8:20 on Wednesday, you are logging in to your advisory teacher's Zoom. And you don't know who that teacher is yet. You will know by Tuesday night. Okay. And we'll show you how to get that. We'll pass that out when you come in next week. But the biggest thing to know, as you see on this slide, these 3 days next week, you're going to learn almost everything you need to know about starting 6th grade. Okay. Or if you're a new student in 7th and 8th grade, all these things will be discussed. How to log in, how to email your teacher, how to remember those manners when you're asking for something from your teacher, a little bit touch on all those things that are there. So if you're just totally confused as to how you're going to see your teachers, we will get you there at 8:20 on Wednesday. Okay, just know that.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jennings. And like I said, I know kids are nervous. So please just reach out. We're here to help answer questions. As you go through, you'll then hit 3rd period, then you had a break, 5th period. If this is your lunch period, then you don't have to go to class. There's no Zoom for you. You get to work independently on your own. Then another break here, and then 7th period here. Students, lunch, and I'll explain what you can do, how to get your lunches. But at 1 o'clock, that's time for you to eat lunch and to take care of what you need. at between 1 and 1:50 is your lunch, and then 1:50 to 2:50 you can finish any unfinished work. That may be a time when you actually reach out to your teacher and ask them for help. You might message them or email them and see if they're available. That is, and then Tuesday, it basically repeats with the exception that now you're doing 2, 4, 6, 8. Now, if you had lunch fifth period, it means you have a fourth period class. So you would have 4 periods this day. If by chance you had class fifth period, you would have fourth period lunch and you would have this period to work on things. Now, Wednesday is a day that we have small group support. So usually what will happen is your teacher will be telling you, hey, I need you to meet me on this Zoom on Wednesday at 10 a.m. for help in math. And your advisory teacher will know that and remind you in the morning to go to that class at 10 a.m. It is a requirement, and attendance would be taken there. We want to provide all the support that students need. So that's why we built that in on a Wednesday. Some students are going to do fine, and they don't need additional support from the teacher. On Wednesday, we do assign about 240 minutes of instruction of work that students can do on their own. It is an instructional, the instructional minutes are required, but we also built that day where they're not sitting in class so that we could provide support to those that need. So I know a lot of questions go, how do you get kids support? That's one of the ways. We also have after school program, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay. On Thursday and Friday, they basically repeat Monday, Tuesday. Okay. I'm going to show you the next slide, and we will give you a copy of this one here, the distance learning, when you come to pick up your computer or when you come to the pickup on Monday or Tuesday of next week. We'll give you a copy of this so you have it. It's also posted online. It's available, but we will have that for you. This one here is the in-person learning, and it changes. I'm going to tell you right now, don't worry about it too much. We have at least 6 weeks for you to explain it if we are coming back. And then we probably have even more time to explain it. The quick Cliff Note version is every group, every cohort, we split into 2. So during your advisory, you have 30 students. And in an example, 15 come on cohort A and 15 are cohort B. Cohort A comes on Monday and Thursday. Cohort B is Tuesday and Friday. When you're not in school, you have work to do from your teachers. Now here, you'll notice that the periods are a little different. Your advisory, 1st, 3rd, 7th, 5th. The reason for that is if half of our students have 5th period lunch, they are going to leave early on that day at 12 noon. That allows, when students are coming on campus, for us to have a staggered dismissal so that students don't congregate. We are also going to be proposing a staggered start time where students arrive at different times. We do not want students to be together within 6 feet as much as possible. So in order to do that, we switched up the period order. If you notice here on Thursday, it goes 2, 6, 8, 4. That way students who have 4th period lunch can leave early. Okay. Now, Wednesday, it is an advisory for both cohorts because we are trying to ensure that we get everybody together to make sure who needs support so that we can make sure, like I said, if it's a 9 o'clock appointment with one teacher and a 9:30 with a different and a 10 o'clock with a different one, that you know your schedule for that day. Just that simple. You will see there is time to complete work and finish any work. This one, like I said, don't worry about. We're not going in person for a while, so you got plenty of time to look at this. Okay. Now, I did send out a form for people to request a Chromebook. I will tell you that some people said, I don't have a device and I don't need one. Well, you need something. So either way, we're going to send up a sign up. Even if you said you didn't need one and you really do, you can. I want every sixth grader to come to the pickup. Miss Jennings is going to send out the invitation for you to sign up. You can come. If you don't need a Chromebook, then you don't have to take a loaner. When we get your device in, when the shipping comes in, you will get your device whether you want it or not. If you obviously don't, but we give every student a device. Once we get school started, we actually require that you use your device to log in and go to all these meetings. Okay, for families that are out there, one of the reasons why we do that, and we require our devices, once we have them all, is that our devices are monitored. Okay, we use a company called Securely, which evaluates what kids are writing on their Chromebooks, what they're sending, what they're doing. And we get notifications, myself, the counselors, Miss Jennings, the district office, about different things. Okay. Most of you got a Chromebook at the end of last year, and they were from the district, or a lot of you got a Chromebook from the district, and they similarly were monitored. Okay. It is essential that we can see what students are doing and what they're saying, and that they are acting appropriately. Okay. So no matter what, students will be coming in on Monday and Tuesday, whether you need a loaner or not, because you have things to pick up, including your login information. Ms. Jennings will be sending this out. If you don't receive my emails, you should, but either way, go to the weekly bulletin. So the pickup days are Monday and Tuesday of next week. You'll pick up a loaner if you need it, even if you didn't fill out the form, although it's good for us to know. You'll pick up your login information. You'll get a map. And then we're also passing out supplies that we have. We know that we are at home. And normally if a kid needs a pencil, we're providing that. Or we provide paper or dry erase pens and things. Now, I will tell you, some of these things we don't have. We don't have dry erase boards because they're not really available in bulk right now. We don't have dry erase pens because they're not available right now. We have paper, pencil. We're going to get students a sheet protector, put a cardstock in there, and it acts like a dry erase board. If you want to, you can purchase those things. We are also providing them for every student. But it may not be that I have them on Monday or Tuesday. We will set up days as we go through when we get supplies. You know, I think some math teachers are asking that students have graph paper. We are going to have graph paper for students to get. We want you to have what you need, and it's very different than when you're here. So please make sure you sign up when Ms. Jennings sends this. Now, I mentioned this earlier, the schedule for the first 3 days of school are here. Okay. And that advisory is going to be key to getting the information and having a connection with one teacher that can help you through everything. Okay. Now you'll see a lot of things on here. It's going to go over student expectations, PBIS, which we'll get to, community building, Google Classroom, which most of you have started to go to. We use Seesaw a lot in this school. So they'll be going over all those things, and it is expected that you are attending all of these. Okay. The first regular day of school will be the Monday, the 24th. And that was that schedule that I showed earlier. There was getting a lot of questions about after school programs. Right now, we have a program called JCYC, and we're working out the details of this. It will not start probably the first few weeks of school, but that is typically a tutoring after school program, and it's for 2 hours after school from Monday through Thursday. We are figuring out the enrollment process and the capacity. I don't have those answers at the moment. It is different for them than it normally is. So we are developing that. We had a program here called Think Together, but we discontinued that because of minimum attendance requirements and paying for something that wasn't the value that School Site Council thought. We do have funds available, and I'm going to be working with the district to provide something after school, but unless some of those minimum attendance requirements happen, we may not. I already saw some emails from the last session about how do you enroll for JCYC, and the answer is we will send all of those things out via email, links, we'll post them on the weekly bulletin. you will get that. But right now, I don't have that answer. Okay. We are going to be doing some after school enrichment programs here. I do want teachers to take a lot of things that they enjoy and they can translate into an online experience, and to provide that. It may be something that you're going to, one of your electives is, say, dance, but you're really interested in coding. Well, we might have a coding after school program, and you might go to that once a week, maybe twice a week for an hour. And that's something that you're doing. So there are a lot of different things coming, and we're going to hopefully have a very rich experience for students, not only during the day, but also outside. All right. Now, if you do not have internet, either you could be watching this on a phone or otherwise. If you click here on this site, you will get access. You will see information about signing up for Comcast or Sonic or other places. Comcast has, for certain families, $10 a month, and you get 2 months free. I understand there's a long wait to get in there. So if you do not have internet, you need to fill out this one right away and request a hotspot. A hotspot is a device that goes into your computer that provides you internet and everybody around you that can log into it. So if you are a 6th grader and you have a sibling who's in 2nd and they have a computer, one hotspot from the district, which is free to use, will work for both. If you have a large family and you have multiple, like 4 or 5 computers, it may not be able to support all of them, but you need to let us know, and we'll make sure we get the devices that we need for the student. If you have multiple students in the district, typically it can support, I think, 2 or 3 student devices at a time. Okay, if not more. The recommended supply list is here. It is not required. We are providing supplies, but a lot of them are not available. I know if you go to, say, Target, a lot of things are available, just not in bulk. So if you are interested and you want to, and you have the means, and you can go that route, or you can wait for us to provide them and then come pick them up. Okay. Few questions that I saw in the last one, and they're coming in, are about textbooks, okay, and assignments from workbooks. All of our textbooks are online. Very rarely were books last year given out. I think only one subject matter did, but most of the time students have a textbook on their computer, and that's how they access it, okay? If your child wants a textbook, email Miss Jennings, and we will make sure that we have it on the Monday or Tuesday of next week for you. If you don't, email us, and later on you go, I really want one because it's hard to read online, then we'll get it for you. But most students do all of their work in the actual online platform. Now, some parents go, but a book is better. Yes and no. Online, a lot of times you will see students can highlight and annotate the text and write. It's like writing on there. Whereas in a textbook, they can't sit there and write there. So a lot of times those things are available, and it really helps them for testing. So if students get used to the platforms and sort of the interfaces, when they go to take standardized testing, it makes it a lot easier. But if you'd like a hardcover copy, we have them available for every student, and want to make sure, if that's what you prefer, we have that. All right. Student expectations. Many of you coming from elementary schools or other schools, you have a PBIS program. Ours is called Sparks. Sparks Fly at TRP. They stand for safe, positive, academic, responsible, and kind. Those are all qualities that we want you to be at TRP, whether you're here or at home. Okay. We do have an app called PBIS Rewards app, where we typically have a student store where when you do something good, your teachers reward you and you get points. And then you go to our store and you buy something. It could be a t-shirt, could be a water bottle, it could be a bag of chips. Whatever that is, you would use your points. We are going to be adjusting that a little bit at the end of last year. That wasn't our focus when we transitioned, but we are this year going to have that store open because we want students, if you're doing something really well in your class and the teacher rewards you for that, we want you to, hey, you know what? I got a water bottle, yay, or whatever you wanted from the store. Okay, so we will be going over that, especially during those first 3 days of the 19th, 20th, and 21st. All right. Grades. are posted in the portal. We require every teacher to update grades at least every 2 weeks, if not more. We do not provide progress reports because when you go online and you check, that's your progress report. If today you looked and your student has a B in math and tomorrow they have a C, that's progress, something changed. You want to maybe find out why. Look at the assignments. Oh, you forgot to turn that in. Oh, my mistake. Click, grade goes back up. We want you to make sure that you have access to the portal. So if you don't, you need to do that. You will receive letter grades at the report card. In elementary, you had a standards-based report card. In middle school, we give grade letters A, B, C, D, and F. Okay, you will receive those, pluses and minuses, but they will be posted, and your report cards will be available in the portal to print. If you don't have a printer, we will print one out for you, but all report cards will be posted there. We are not mailing them home. They will be posted there. Okay. Now, Ms. Ramoran has been waiting patiently. I know I should have put her, I realized it more at the beginning of this, but she's been waiting patiently to talk about our PTSO.
Thank you, Mr. Turner, for giving me a few minutes to make a quick introduction to the PTSO. My name is Teresa Ramoran. I have a 7th grader here at TRP. I'm also a proud alumni of this school and have served in the PTSO for 4 years, as I just had an 8th grader graduate last year. And this would be the 2nd year that I serve as the president. Our mission, you can go to the next slide. Our mission is to make every child's potential a reality by engaging and empowering families and the community to advocate for all kids. Of course, most of you know what the PTSO is all about. The main idea for these organizations is to raise money for school events and other extracurricular activities. But I do have a few goals this year, starting with providing support for cultural and educational programs at TRP, promoting safe social activities that heighten school spirit, encourage family togetherness, and promote humanitarian efforts within our community, increase interest, involvement, understanding, and awareness of the PTSO, encourage and organize volunteer support for school and PTSO programs and events, and conduct purposeful fundraising to support programs and events which align with our mission statement of advocating for our students. Some of the things that we've done in the past is the annual walkathon, where friends and families are encouraged to pledge any amount as a show of support based on the number of LAP students walk during the walkathon. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit hard this year. We don't know if we're going to have one. That usually happens around March, but I guess we'll kind of play it by ear. And then we do things like teacher appreciation lunches. Although we were practicing social distancing this past May during Teacher Appreciation Week, we were still able to engage students in showing appreciation to teachers, as well as provide Grubhub gift cards to teachers and staff at TRP. We can go to the next slide. Some ideas that I do have for this year that I'd like to propose in our first meeting is probably a virtual talent show, virtual career day, and TRP PTSO merchandise. You can visit us on our website. It's www.trpptso.com and click join on the menu to become part of the PTSO. And we're also on Instagram and Facebook. You can go to the next slide. Yeah. Be sure to like and follow us, and feel free to connect with us through Facebook Messenger or Instagram direct message. So if you guys have any questions, you can reach me at the Instagram, direct messaging, TRP PTSO on Facebook, or you can email trojanptso@gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking about different ways to maybe do our walkathon. My daughters and I, we've been actually walking quite a bit this summer, and walks up to 30 miles a day.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I was 6 and an 8-year-old. So maybe I was thinking maybe somebody could show their phone and, you know, how much they walked and we could
Yeah.
raise money that way. So
That's a good idea.
yeah. So obviously social distancing and masks at all times when you're outside. Yeah. So our school site council and English language advisory committee, which Ms. Ramoran is also a part of, we have one parent opening for our school site council. The school site council, if you've ever been on one before, helps decide how the funds in a school are spent. And it's really essential that we have parents who are interested and active and want to help analyze what's working and what's not so that we can put our resources towards what can help students most. There will be a nomination that will go out via email or a form that'll go out, and then we will have a ballot virtually again. First time we've ever done this. And then here are the scheduled meeting times. Obviously, they may change. Things may change during the pandemic. If we are back here, we may not do it via Zoom if we can have larger meetings, but odds are they will be via Zoom. The English Language Advisory Committee meets right after that. And that is a committee where we want to have our English learner families come and provide input into ways that we can help English learners learn. What's working, what's not. Maybe we adopted a curriculum and you're talking with the group of parents there, their students aren't engaging in it. What do we need to do to adjust? Do we need a different curriculum? What do we need? And there's also a district level English language advisory committee that we'd like to send somebody to. So, you know, if you're interested, please look out for emails. It is important. Breakfast and lunch service is being finalized, but I believe the pickup times are, and I think I'm getting a call, so you're going to hear that for a moment. Stop share. All right, that's what happens when you have Google Voice on your computer, and it interrupts when I tried to close it. So I do apologize. I'll wait for that to go on. But we are having lunch service. I believe they're finalizing the times, but it is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, so let me see if I can get back in there. No, okay, here we go. Okay. I'm getting some technical difficulties there. Let's try this again. Nope, okay. Let's see if we get back here. We back? All right. So, sorry about that. That's obviously what happens. And, you know, when our teachers have technical difficulties or, you know, I definitely understand those things. Or if kids are having issues, we work through them. Just usually not in a recorded fashion. So it's going to be between 10 and 2. Remember, students typically finish at 1 p.m. So you'll have time to come after school to pick up lunches if you'd like. There will be a pickup Tuesday and Thursday at Pollicita for students here. If you have a student in another school, we're going to try and arrange that maybe you can do one pickup. Okay, but we got to work through a few things. Different than normal, we do need ID numbers and those things. If you normally pay for meals, last year during the pandemic, they were all free. But before that, if you paid for meals, you have to pay for them again. Now, what that means is if you were to come on Tuesday, you're picking up 2 days of meals. If you wanted 2 breakfasts, that's all you could take. Sure, you'd pay for 2 breakfasts. If you want 2 breakfasts and 2 lunches, then you would pay for that. Now, if you're getting free lunch, then you could come pick up 2 breakfasts and 2 lunches on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, they give you 3 days worth of meals so that you have Thursday, Friday, and Monday. So a lot of people wonder, I had my free lunch last year. Does it continue? The answer is yes, but we need you to fill out a form as soon as possible. You can apply right now. There's an online form. If you go to the district website, there's a link right here. Go over there and answer and basically fill it out, and then that'll start the process. When you come in on Monday or Tuesday, we have a limited amount. We have 300 applications, and you can take one and fill it out. Remember, you only need one per family, okay? We are still finalizing what's going to happen for the first day of school, since that is a Wednesday and we want to provide service. So just look out for any emails from me. Now, as it says right here, you must pay for meals if you don't receive free breakfast or lunch. If you receive a reduced price, you do have to pay that reduced price. Now, normally people have been putting money on myschoolbucks.com. We are asking that you do that, and there is no fee to put money on there. Normally there was like a $2.75 fee. We don't want your money. We're trying to limit transactions. So go there, put your money in your account. There is no fee to do it. So if you were going to put $20 in an account, you can do it on there for free now through December 18th. All right. So many of you have older students or have heard that we have uniforms here. And we typically do have uniforms. But these are different times. And in order to ensure that all of our students, if we return to school, have clothing that is clean every day, we are not requiring uniforms. A lot of times a student might wear a shirt or a pair of pants twice, and we'd want them to, if you are coming back, that you are coming with your own clothes, fresh. We're not doing loaner uniforms or anything like that. At the end of this year, we will look for next year and see what the conditions are, and we will evaluate it at that point. But please do not go buy uniforms. I know I received quite a few questions about that. You do not need to purchase that. Well, that's about it for me. Now I get to stop sharing and taking a look at the Q&A and try and answer some of these questions. All right. Will there be staff assigned to sanitize the tables and chairs per period break? Yes. What will happen is that the teachers have to take a training, an online one, on how to properly clean and sanitize using wipes. Okay. A lot of people use them incorrectly, use them for too long, and are spreading things around. So there is a training for that. With the limited amount of desks in there, we think that 5 minutes is enough. If we need longer, we will do that. If I don't think we could adequately clean it, and we're not adequately, if I look and we're not doing that, we will not be moving around. Okay, until we can adequately clean. Okay. Next question. Yes, somebody's asking about basically the concept of a block schedule: 1, 3, 5, 7 one day and 2, 4, 6, 8 the other day. Yes, that limits the amount of transitions that a student has to go in and out of Zooms, because if they have to go into one and then to the next, it gets a little bit more complicated. So we do break it up. It's called a block schedule. And so students also don't have 8 things going on in one day. It helps them sort of settle down and be able to focus on the class. 3 classes one day and 4 on another. It lets them do that. Somebody said they don't understand their schedule. I can reach out to you individually, or when you come in on Monday or Tuesday, we can actually show it to you and answer any questions there. The Chromebook pickup on Monday and Tuesday, I believe Monday it might be something like 9 to 11 and then 2 to 4. We have a lot of meetings in between. And then on Tuesday, I think it's like 9 to 11 or 8 to 11 and 1 to 4. So if you can't make it during those times, email me. We can arrange something. You have to have a computer for Wednesday. So, if you're out of town and you're watching somewhere else, you're like, I'm coming back on Wednesday. Well, then come on down here and we'll get you a computer that day. Okay. Are electives being offered this year? Yes. Electives are being offered. And Miss Yvette can wave back there. She's there in the our attendance tech. Electives are being offered this year. Students should have filled out an elective survey at the end of last year. We forwarded our elective survey to your 5th grade teachers. Now, I will tell you that a lot of the electives that we had, some of them are not being offered. It is very different this year. So some of the electives are not offered, and we are going to be placing people as best as we can. It may not be your first choice, second, third, or any choice of yours, but it will be a choice. We are going to try our best, but we didn't get all of them in. Your 5th grade teachers in this district should have gotten them. If you have anything in particular, email Miss Jennings. Some electives feed into certain classes. Like if you're an English learner, you will go to you may not have a choice in your elective because there's already an elective chosen. Remember, students travel in one big group all day with that same group. Okay. Do we need to really buy supplies or can we wait? You don't need to buy supplies. In that supply list, it says for at home, and we recommend you have paper. Maybe you want to write something out. It's not so easy to do on there. If you don't have paper, we will have paper here for you. Okay. You don't need to buy anything. We will provide it. Some things we just can't get now. So if you're somebody that last year was using a whiteboard and you really liked a particular whiteboard or dry erase board and you like showing your teacher and you have that, you can still use it. Or if you needed a new one, then you use that. Okay. Do you have to buy PE clothes? No, we are not changing for PE. One of the biggest things for why we're not doing PE clothes is we do not have the space in the locker rooms to physically distance. Simple as that. So we are not doing PE. If we do come on campus, PE will be done much differently than before. If we are using equipment, it has to be wiped down every single time, properly sanitized before the next group can get there. It's going to look different. The pickup times I did mention, if you have a conflict with those times because somebody's working, let us know. Email myself, Ms. Jennings. We will try and arrange something. Ms. Jennings will be sending out, it's called a sign up genius. It'll basically show you the available slots where you can sign up. So it might be like, okay, there are 25 slots here. I'm going to sign up for this period of time. When you come on campus, you will most likely have your temperature taken. You'll have a mask. Okay. You have to wear one the whole time. And when I say wear it, I also mean properly, not like this, up like this. Okay. But you will come in and line up and safely 6 feet apart, wait in a line to go in, get your Chromebook, get supplies, get the information, the packets that you need. Okay. How many electives will the child get? We only provide one elective for a child. Currently right now, the electives that we are offering are art, computers, coding, band, music appreciation, dance, makerspace. I think that's about it. Maybe restorative justice class. There are quite a few different options out there. Some of these electives may be flipping half year so that we can change if obviously we, where the cohort would stay together, but just the teacher would change. So yeah, just one elective. All right, I think I've gotten through all the questions, but I know there may still be people out there who have questions. So if you have a question, please post it in the Q&A right now. I do appreciate everybody who's been listening in Spanish. I do speak a little bit of Spanish, so always feel free to reach out. My comprehension isn't so good, but I can usually say what I need to say. So I try my best is what I will say. I know a lot of you have questions, and maybe they're going to come to you 10 minutes from now or an hour from now. Let us know. We are here to help. It's obviously a different world we're in. I'd rather you be doing this in person in the gym and being able to see everybody and be doing activities with everybody. That's not the case. So with that, if there are no more questions, I'll hang out for like another minute or so if I see questions. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a wonderful day and stays safe. And then just look out for that email coming tomorrow for the sign up. If you don't get a sign up, then it tells you we don't have your right email, which means you got to call us so we can get that all figured out. So we'll wait about another 30 seconds. Who's the cutie in the background? The little one.
Say hi, dude. My son.
Hi. You're being recorded on YouTube. No, it's wonderful. Oftentimes, for those of you who are still around, my daughters will pop in when I'm at home. Sometimes I bring them to work, but they'll pop in too, and I'm sure you'll get to know them throughout the years. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions. Oh, one more. Where can we find your email? My email is bturner@Jefferson, S as in Sam, D as in David.org. It's also on our website. I will answer you directly. I think I can type it in here. I think that's actually the easier way. Okay. Will there be an opportunity for whole grade community building connections through Zoom? There may be. It is something, last year, the 8th grade graduating class did some activities for their grad dance, and they were coordinated, and it was, I think, a lot of fun. Ms. Ramoran, you might be able to speak to that a little bit, but I think the kids had fun doing some things. It does take a little bit of planning, but that's something that definitely, like our restorative justice class has been doing a lot of those types of plannings. And I think some of those kids who were in there were the ones that had organized that. So we will look into that. Any other questions? Are we going to have to go back to school? Well, that's a complicated question. So we are going back to school, but in distance learning. If you're talking about, are we going to have to come back in person? I don't know that answer. Like I said, there is a 6-week time frame where basically we, or 2-week time, 14 days, where we have to be off the state watch list. If that happens, then a decision will be made by the governing board of our district, and in communication with the state or the county health director, and the county office of education on whether we return. I do not know whether we come back. Right? When we left in March, I thought we were going to be back in April. We're here now, so I don't know the answer. I wish I did. When are the next Zooms? So there is a virtual, for if you are here and you were in the virtual school, and that is saying you're committing to 100% online the whole year, no chance of coming back. The orientation for that is Monday night at 6 p.m. That is the next scheduled Zoom. I believe tonight at 6 p.m. there is, or no, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. there is another Zoom post on the district website, and also a link, I believe, on the weekly bulletin about the district is going to be going over the hybrid model. So for those of you who looked at that schedule and were like, too much, they'll be going over that. What I always suggest is, if you really need, give me a call. My cell phone number for Google Voice, which rang in the middle of this, is 510-545-3705. I'm getting a lot of texts, a lot of things. It's hard to multitask sometimes during a Zoom meeting, but I do try and get to those. Okay. And if there's a student that's really nervous, you can always reach out to us. We can do a personal Zoom, Ms. Jennings and I, with your family if that's really an issue or something's going on. We want to do that. Our counselors do that. So whatever you need, we're here for you. Okay. I hope everybody stays safe and is healthy. And like I said, look out for the emails coming from us. If you're not receiving them, let me know. All right. Thank you and have a great day.